Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Larry Larson.
And I'm Hernan Gutierrez. Let's take a look at the news.
If you're looking for a new club to join at Markin next semester, look no further than Aikido Club. The Japanese self-defense martial art is being taught as a new club here at Bradley. Here's Nate Martin with more.
The new Aikido Club brings another option for Bradley students in Markin Mondays and Tuesday nights. The art of Aikido is a unique martial art that is designed for self-defense, but not to injure the attacker. The club teacher Owen Schaefer explains the history of Aikido.
Aikido is a Japanese martial art, and it was developed by who we call O-sensei, Morihei Ueshiba, and he's a Japanese gentleman who saw the horrors of war and decided to create a new martial art that was focused on peace and harmony and something really different.
This style of martial arts involves ending an attack with a pin or throw.
We practice with partner practice, and we take turns. One person attacks and the other person does an Aikido technique or defends themselves. The whole point of Aikido is to bring an attack or a conflict to a peaceful resolution.
Although the club is relatively new, Owen has years of experience in Aikido.
We just started Aikido Club this last fall when I joined the faculty here at Bradley. I'm in the computer science department, and I've been teaching Aikido. I've taught for a year in the past as a volunteer, and I've been doing Aikido for about 15 years.
If you want to get involved with the club, they'll be meeting Mondays and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. next semester. For BUTV News, I'm Nate Martin.
Thanks, Nate. Bradley's Vocal Jazz Ensemble and the Groove Project combined their talents for the first time in the Dingledine Music Center this past Saturday. Robert Crable has more.
Last Saturday, the Dingledine Music Center was filled with roaring voices and booming brass instruments for the first combined concert of Bradley's Vocal Jazz Ensemble and the Groove Project. The Vocal Jazz Ensemble is a new group that just formed this fall. Angie Duro is the director of the group that performs selections in jazz and other popular styles. After the performances of the Vocal Jazz Ensemble, Todd Kelly and the Groove Project took to the stage.
Groove Project is a New Orleans brass band. That means it's a group that learns all of the music by ear. We don't use any sheet music. We're kind of out of that tradition of the bands that play on the streets of New Orleans.
The night concluded with a jazz mashup of popular songs, followed by a standing ovation. To learn more about the Vocal Jazz Ensemble or the Groove Project, look on the Bradley website. For BUTV News, I'm Robert Crable.
Thanks, Robert. Honestly, that concert kind of looked like fun. I kind of wish I went. What's the weather going to be like for the last week of classes?
Find out your weekly weather update with Nicole Pfaff after the break.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Nicole, it seems like every week on the weather, we say the same thing. Oh, Mother Nature's been up and down this week or last week, and it's been the same all semester. It rains through for our last show. What's our last week of the semester going to bring us?
Well, it looks like we'll see a lot more sun. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Like I said, we're looking pretty clear. Nothing really to report. There is just a little bit of rain, as we see coming over here in the west. It should be coming over here to the Midwest a little time soon, but other than that, it's pretty clear. Let's go ahead and look at our current temps. Since the Midwest is looking at December currently, well, everybody's looking at December, we're still looking at some fall weather. Low 40s, high 50s down in the south. North is looking at some high 30s, but other than that, it's pretty chill, if you know what I mean. But we're still looking at that fall weather. Let's go ahead and look at that 5-day forecast. Looking pretty clear the rest of the week. Some 50s we'll be seeing tomorrow. It'll cool down Friday and Saturday to high 30s, low 40s. In the evenings for the rest of the week, it will be pretty freezing, but other than that, it'll be nice and cool. Sunday, clouds are going to start rolling in, and then Monday, we'll be seeing a little bit of rain. Other than that, let's go ahead, and it's time for your entertainment news with Jonathan Michael.
The American Music Awards took place this past Sunday, and it was a historic day for Taylor Swift. She took home 6 awards, including Artist of the Year, but that pales in comparison to the other award she took home, which was Artist of the Decade. Swift also performed during the show, where the runner-ups included BTS and Khalid, who scored 3 wins each. The drama leading up to Swift's performance drew much attention, as 2 executives from her label, including the founder, originally told Swift she could not perform any songs from her first 6 albums. Whether or not Swift is our favorite artist is a topic up for debate, but it sure seems as if a transition to pop music did her well. The Mandalorian is making its presence known by one singular character alone, and that is Baby Yoda. The pint-sized bundle of wisdom has taken over the internet just in time for Christmas, which means, you guessed it, Baby Yoda merchandise. If you're not sure what to get your friends or your little sibling, a puzzle and a poster will suffice. Later on, you'll be able to buy a 1-foot-tall Baby Yoda figurine and even a plush toy as well at the Disney Store and Walmart. Technically referred to as the Child, Baby Yoda is actually 50 years old and is protected from bounty hunters by The Mandalorian. Episode 5 of The Mandalorian will be available this coming Friday. We've sure heard about our fair share of movies here on BUTV this year, but which movie overall has been the best this year? While more formal awards have still yet to be decided, the National Board of Review has given the honor to The Irishman. The board's Icon Award will be received by director Martin Scorsese and the stars Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. The board also awarded the top director award Pulp Fiction director Quentin Tarantino for his work in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And Best Actor went to Adam Sandler for his role in Uncut Gems. The National Board of Review is not comprised of critics, but rather film enthusiasts and filmmakers. The NBR has been giving out awards since 1930. Also included on their top 10 films list was Knives Out, which our own Kelly Rogers saw this past weekend. Here's a look. Former BUTV entertainment anchor Kelly Rogers reviewed Knives Out, a star-studded whodunit film with Daniel Craig, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Chris Evans, to name a few. Let's check it out.
Released last Wednesday, Knives Out surprised everyone with both its plot and its success. In just the opening weekend, it has grossed a worldwide total of $70 million. This whodunit is also jam-packed with stars who portray characters they wouldn't usually play.
No one move until we figure this all out.
What? Can we ask why?
Has something changed?
No.
No, it hasn't changed, or no, we can't ask.
The story surrounds the family of an 85-year-old crime novelist who supposedly committed suicide. Daniel Craig plays the mysteriously hired private investigator who untangles the web of self-serving lies to uncover the circumstances behind Harlan's death. The modern elements to this film keep the protagonist a relatable character. They also have a backstory rooted in current issues, which furthers the audience's empathy for them.
I'm just so kind of happy and kind of flattered and honored that someone should give me a script like this and a part like this, because it's such a sort of rich and sort of and sort of I don't know sort of the fact that he's trusted me to do it is just such a lovely thing.
You will find me a respectful, quiet, passive observer of the truth.
You delve into it and you start working out all the details, and especially with something that's plotted like this, where with any whodunit, there's always kind of a labyrinth of following all these different characters and all the motives and the twists and turns and what do you know when, so.
This film has you believe you know the truth until the final reveal. The twists and turns keep you on your toes throughout and keep the energy up until the very end. Overall, it is a really fun story, and the cast makes it even more enjoyable. If you haven't already, I would strongly recommend seeing this film. For BUTV News, I'm Kelly Rogers.
Thanks for that review, Kelly. And Jonathan, now I think I know what I'm going to get you for Christmas.
Oh boy, do I even want to know?
A plush Baby Yoda, of course. Just
well,
what you've always wanted?
I mean, how can I say no? I can't.
Exactly. Who wouldn't want one? Stick around to hear what Bradley students are saying about finals and Thanksgiving break.
The last edition of Campus Combos up next after the break.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Are you interested in a leadership experience that will help you build skills when you start applying for internships and jobs? Are you interested in learning about what student aides and orientation leaders do year-round? Here's Anthony Landahl, who went to Bradley Hall to speak to one of Bradley's student aides about their position as an aide and talk about tonight's informational meeting. Anthony?
Thanks, Larry. With next semester closer than it appears, applications for Bradley Student Aid will be open next semester. And I'm here with Matt Gibson, a student aide himself, who can talk about what the position entails and maybe why you should apply. Thanks for joining me, Matt.
Yes, of course.
So, what is a student aide for people who don't know?
Yeah, so the student aides are the students over the summer who are helping the freshmen and the first year students kind of get acclimated to Bradley. So we're the students that are helping run orientation. So at other schools, you might heard them be called like orientation leaders, but here at Bradley, we just call them the student aides.
And I know that like we all have experienced or encountered a student aide in our time here because we all mostly went to orientation.
Yeah.
But what do they do behind the scenes that people don't usually think about?
Yeah, so during the spring semester is really just us getting prepared for the summer because the main work happens in the summer, and that's kind of getting ready for a big thing we do over the summer is helping register for classes. So that's kind of what we're doing behind the scenes of the spring semester, getting ready for that. And then during the summer, we do a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes with the students, without the students. We do different icebreakers with them, kind of getting them used to kind of building those friendships. That's a big thing we want to do over the summer. So we make them kind of do that with the icebreakers, always being with them for like different social activities and different things like that. If some of y'all might remember the math test that you had to take before registering for classes, so we help proctor that. Like I said, help with the classes, go on those one-on-ones that y'all might remember when we were just walking around campus and just talking about whatever y'all want to talk about, anything about college or whatever, and just doing a lot of those different things just to help the students kind of get acclimated to Bradley.
And so what made you interested in applying to be an aide?
Yeah, so the main reason is one of my friends, Ian, I'm a junior right now, he's a junior. Last year when he was a sophomore, he was a student aide, and just hearing from the experience from him, it seemed like something I really wanted to do. And the main reason for that was just the ability to help students. I eventually want to be a math professor, that's kind of the end goal, hopefully here at Bradley, that'd be awesome. But just being able to help students and being a student aide, that is the bottom line of what we're doing, helping the first year students get acclimated to coming to Bradley. So just wanting to help students and just being able to do that while being a student aide.
So there's a meeting today in Bradley Hall 210 at 7 o'clock. What's the meeting going to be about today?
Yes, so it's just going to be about kind of more specifics of what goes into being a student aide, kind of the interview process, how to apply and different things like that. And there'll be student aides running it, so just basically answering any questions that anybody might have, and yeah, just kind of going through it more in depth, what it entails being a student aide.
Best piece of advice for someone who's going to apply? Any tips?
Oh man, just like be yourself when you're going through the whole process. Like it really is just about being yourself. Like just kind of talking like you would, because everybody has their own different aspects that they can bring to the table. So just making sure that you're yourself in the whole process.
All right, thank you so much for being with us today, man. It was really nice to talk to you. Bradley, 2:20, 7 o'clock tonight, student aid orientation. Or if you have questions, email orientation@fsmail.bradley.edu. Live from Bradley Hall, I'm Anthony Landau for BUTV News. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Anthony. 'Tis the season of hearing about Bradley students' Thanksgiving break and how they feel about finals on this week's edition of Campus Convos.
Hey everyone, this week on Campus Convos, we check in with students about their Thanksgiving break and what plans they have for winter break. Describe your Thanksgiving in one word.
I would have to say breezy.
Thankful. Eventful.
Fun.
What's your hardest final coming up?
Geology.
Consumer behavior.
Chem.
I'm a comm major, so it's really not that hard, but I think it's probably going to be like comm law, which is comm 330.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, The Grinch. A Christmas Story.
Home Alone. For the last show, we're going to do a bit of a roles reverse.
All right, so Amani, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
The Grinch. How many days until winter break?
Feels like 1,000, probably like 12.
It's 15, so you're close.
No idea. 15?
Yes, that's perfect. That's right on. Perfect.
21. 365.
It's actually only 15, so.
Really?
15, I think. Perfect, that's spot on, yeah. It's been great seeing what Bradley students have been up to this semester. I'll see you guys next year. For BUTV News, I'm Imani Shamsuddin.
Thanks, Imani. Last night, ACBU held their first annual Cocoa and Cram, which allowed students to take a break from their studies and enjoy this winter season. Held in the Student Center Ballroom, ACBU provided students with many winter activities and treats. These included snow globe making, sugar body scrubs, stress balls, and a fan favorite, the Snow Globe Bouncy. Students were then able to indulge in fondue and hot cocoa. With finals just around the corner, this allowed students to take some time and relax and forget about finals for a while. Though this cocoa and cram was only a one-night thing, don't forget that the library will also be providing hot cocoa every night during finals week. But if you're interested in more ACBU events, feel free to follow them on Instagram at ACBU Bradley.
This week's edition of Someone You Should Know is a 2-for-1 treat. Here's Anthony Landau and Ashley Lesson with more.
Some stories of World War II are found in military books like this one. Other stories are retold by someone who was there at the time. 97-year-old Baxter Fight is a veteran who lived that experience. The Georgia native joined the Medic Corps at age 20 after spending time around his grandfather, who was a doctor.
And I traveled in Georgia with him when he was making medical calls. And that's what determined my ambition to be in the military.
Fight's journey through Europe started in southern France in 1944. Fight remembers moments like the Battle of the Bulge, the day the Allied forces won, and liberating concentration camps like Dachau. It was Fight's job to treat the survivors' starvation.
We had sea rations, and sea rations are soft foods like potatoes and beans and Salisbury steak and things like that. Give them one spoonful, and about an hour later, give them another spoonful.
74 years later, the passion for his service stands strong.
I served in the military. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that there was a thing for me to do.
For BUTV News, I'm Anthony Landau in Peoria.
Meet Dr. Paul Gulliver, the former chair of the Department of Communications and a professor here at Bradley. He has been teaching media and communications for over 30 years, but his interest in studying the media came long before that.
I've always kind of had an interest in it, but I think what really piqued my interest was in high school. I had a class in Introduction to Mass Media, and I loved that class. I think that really piqued my interest, and I didn't even know you could study that in college at the time, but that's the difference one class and one teacher can make, though, right? So I probably credit that class more than anything else. I came right out of graduate school. This was one of a couple of offers that I had, but I loved everything about Bradley. I just loved the location, and it just kind of had the best of all possible worlds for me. And came here and decided to stay here, and I've been here ever since.
In his time teaching here, one of the things he's done is take communications students on expeditions to different cities to show them what career opportunities are out there for them to pursue.
For the first 15, 16 years or so, I took students to New York City, and then got away from that, took some students to Las Vegas for a couple of years, and now doing Chicago. The whole idea behind it really is to take students to location to study this. It's been, I think, a really good experience for the students to see firsthand how all of these industries operate. Sometimes they come back and say, I didn't know there were jobs in this area, this is pretty cool. And so part of it has been that, exposing them to new ways of doing things.
If you're interested in going on a Chicago expedition with Dr. Gulliver, you can email him at pfg@fsmail.bradley.edu. And if you're interested in taking a class with him in the future, I couldn't recommend it enough. Reporting for BUTV News, I'm Ashley Lesson.
Yeah, please do.
Good stuff there from Ashley, and really powerful stuff there from Anthony. One of the better stories we've seen all year. It's the end of the semester, but sports are still going.
Cody Raskins with your sports update after the break.
So good to see you guys.
So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
For too long, there's been too much silence. We've stepped back when we should have stepped up.
We lack the bravery to have the tough conversations.
It stops now.
It stopped with us.
As campus leaders, we recognize that sexual assault is a real problem.
And it's time to take action.
We're standing together as a community because this issue affects all of us.
And we can only end it if we are braver together.
Starting now, we don't look the other way. We make it a move and do something.
Before it's too late.
We promote a culture of respect for all students.
We say something even when it's easier to remain silent.
We stand up for survivors.
We never blame them.
We hold our friends, our leaders, our teammates,
and ourselves accountable for our actions.
And when we see something wrong, we're brave enough to interrupt. We say something.
We do something.
We watch out for each other.
Always.
Being a Bradley Brave means
ending the silence.
Together, we can work to end sexual assault and rape culture in our community.
Together, we can do the right thing.
Together, we can do the brave thing. Make your move and stand with us.
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 And we can all be braver together.
So, Larry, I know you just got back from a little trip earlier this week. How was that?
It was good. So me and a few friends, we went to Memphis for the Bradley basketball game that Cody's going to tell us about, but it was a really good time. Memphis knows how to do basketball, and yeah. I'll let Cody tell you about the rest.
Sure, thanks, Larry. High-profile games have been the story for the Braves lately as the men's basketball team has had their last 3 games on national television. The Braves started this streak over Thanksgiving break while on a road trip to Florida for the Rocket Mortgage Fort Myers Invitational, where they took on the Northwestern Wildcats and the Kansas State Wildcats. Leaving the tournament, the Braves placed 3rd with a loss to Northwestern and a win against Kansas State. The Braves then had a quick turnaround for a highly anticipated matchup with the 15th-ranked Tigers of Memphis. The Braves would fall behind early to keep within striking distance for the majority of the game until the Braves had a late scoring run in the game with Elijah Childs having a double-double. But they would ultimately fall to the Tigers 56-71. Now to the women's side of the court as the Bradley Braves women's basketball team is off to a hot start to the new year with a 6-1 record, their only loss coming against the Michigan Wolverines. The Braves are coming off a close wins against George Mason by 2 and Richmond by 4. The Braves will be looking to continue their success as they take on the North Dakota State Bison on Tuesday. The Bison, who are fresh off their first win of the season against New Hampshire, 67-61. They come into that match at 1-7. And unfortunately, the women's volleyball team season came to an abrupt end on November 28th as the Braves fell to the Valparaiso Crusaders in 5 sets. Hannah Thompson and Sarah Maddox both chipped in 18 kills, while Rachel Pronger and Kerrigan Coggin each had 8 kills and 2 blocks. As the Braves now look to continue to the offseason, as the Braves graduate seniors Maggie Revel, Catherine Graff, and Hannah Angeli.
You know, it's too bad to see volleyball season come to an end because they had a lot of good players. But back to that basketball game, I'm sure you watched. It was a frustrating one for the Braves.
Not a letdown, but a missed opportunity, but it was a good watch to see our Braves compete against high-level competition.
Exactly. Penny Hardaway, he's got a squad down there. The last show of the semester is coming to a close.
Stay around for our musical guest and upcoming events after the break.
Hey, I got your text.
Hey.
You said this was urgent? What happened?
There is a guy harassing me at work.
That can't be right. Did you try talking to him?
I did, but he wouldn't listen.
Don't tell me he... Did you call the police?
No, I was too scared. I just needed to get out of there. I needed to tell someone.
Well, let's just sit here for a little while and maybe calm down. Then if you want, we can go to the police station and we can talk about this more.
Okay.
Time's up. Visit projectconsent.com.
shouldn't rush this.
For the last time this semester, let's take a look at the events going on around campus. The last conversation table of the semester for Mesa Hispanica will be taking place this Friday at 2 p.m. in Bradley Hall, 310. All majors and levels are welcome to attend. Tables are also available to all in the Peoria community. The men's basketball team will be taking on North Carolina A&T State University this weekend. Cheer on your Bradley Braves this Saturday, December 7th at 1 p.m. at the Peoria Civic Center. Grubhub has teamed up with Stacks and Jerry's Juice Bar. Order 9 drinks through the Grubhub app, and your 10th will be free. The offer is available until the end of this year. Well, that's it for BUTV News this year. I'm Hernan Gutierrez.
I'm Cody Groskins.
I'm Jonathan Michael.
I'm Nicole Pfaff.
And I'm Larry Larson. We leave you tonight with a performance from the Blank Stairs. Till next semester, thanks for a great semester. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody sitting at this desk for a great semester and everybody behind the cameras and in the control room. Until next semester, have a great evening.
This is no fun, oh this is no fun. I usually have a clue or at least know what I want. Hey dude, oh this is not cool. I know just how I feel but I don't know what to do. Sunscreen and the smell of chlorine. You pushed me in the pool and I don't know how to breathe. Baby, won't you listen to me? I get the intention that we're playing for the same team. Frustration and a growing impatience. I wanna give my all to you, but I know that you won't take it. Confliction, like do I not fit your description? And you know that I'm the only one that really, really gets it. Step right on your throat and I hear you say nothing. We both say nothing. Oh no, when you had your foot on my throat, oh at least I said something. At least I said something. Oh no, I let you step right on my throat and I feel like I'm choking. Feel like I'm choking.